How's it going, guys? Just getting set up here. It's been a while. All right. Mute this, share this. Can you guys let me know? Hey, what's up, me? How's it going? Let's see. Sure. Okay. Sorry, let me 1 second. I'm just sharing my stuff here. You share it to my page. Okay. How's it going, you guys? Sounds good? Awesome. All right, all right. Let's see. So today I thought we would continue with the, let's see, make sure the sound's off on Twitch. All right. I thought we'd continue with the Luigi draw this in your style face. LA Epic Games. Hey, what's up, Sean? Gosh, I got something in my teeth bugging. All right, so how's everybody been? It's been a couple weeks. I just went to Yellowstone last week with my family, and that was a fantastic little break. So, hey, what's up, Sheswata? So I've been away for a bit, and now I'm ready to get back to it and get ready to get back to streaming on Pixelogic again. Hey, what's up, Neal? How you doing, man? So, yeah. Just looking at this guy again, I can see there's some things I need to fix. I want to go deeper with those ears and start working on the hair and all that kind of stuff, and finish out his shirt and his eyes and teeth. So let's get to it. And I'm at my rental, so that's why I have a white background. The video is out of sync with the sound. Okay, let me see if I can do something about that. I think it's all right. Okay. Yeah, so for some reason my microphone was not working very well with OBS, so I had to switch to Streamlabs OBS, which is essentially OBS with a sweet looking theme cover on it. So it may have messed with my offsetting settings, because yeah, I don't know why this microphone just wasn't working. I've just been playing with this new microphone. It's called a Yeti Nano. It's just little tiny microphone that sounds pretty good, I think. So, okay. Well, I'll be looking down for most of the time. For Morocco, nice. Okay. Well, we'll just ignore it for now, and I'll try and fix it if it's still bugging a ton of people. Okay. So, how many of you guys are going to the ZBrush Summit? You guys going to the ZBrush Summit this year? Really looking forward to that. I'm trying to decide if I want to start working on his hair or not. I think I am. I have the hairbrush. I'm using the Macon hairbrush, which is the one you can get on Funky Bunnies. I'm actually going to turn on mirroring for this one. What's up there, 3D Wonder? Oh, cool. Well, welcome everybody for the first time that are watching for the first time streaming. Welcome, welcome. I appreciate it. Okay, so what I've done with, thank you, Neal. What I've done with, I've changed the stroke on this brush. So if you open up the stroke menu right here, you can change this fall off. So you essentially change the curve, so it goes from thick to thin when you lay it down here. And it does twist. So what you can do is kind of lay it down and then drag it around with these with the line here, the curve. Pretty nice. And then to commit it, all you have to do is tap on the surface of the object. So I'm drawing the new hair on top of the hair, but I don't necessarily want that. So I'm going to separate it out into its own subtool. So let's see. Split unmask points. Hit my down key to select the hair. It's right here. I'll have to check that out. I'm mad. Okay, then I'm just scale. I don't want these this thick, so I'm just going to use the gizmo to scale them down. Man, sorry. I don't know what I got stuck in my teeth. I just barely munched my lunch really quick. Hey, what's up, Stella? And I'm going to keep his hair just this plain white color for now, so I can kind of see what I'm doing. And basically, I'm just going over the top of the block in and just defining each hair as I go. And since these two are kind of mirrored, they're the same on each side of the head. That's why I'm keeping it mirrored for now, but after this I'm going to turn symmetry off and just lay them in one at a time. Something like that. So have any of you ever been to Yellowstone? I've been once before with my family, so it's pretty close to me. I'm in Utah, and it's just a couple hours north of here. And it's like if you guys don't know, it's a super volcano. So lots of geothermal activity, which is like geysers and air, like vents and stuff. It's pretty crazy. Hey Chris, what's my Z intent? Just 51. It's the default. But I use a bigger brush and I nudge it less, if that makes sense. Okay, so there's that first hair. The second one I also want to do, I'm going to lay it down symmetrically, but then I'm going to turn symmetry off. Which I'm going to grab this one. What's up, Stefano? Yep, and mud pots and yeah, lots of steam. Okay, I'm gonna put it down further over here. You can extend these lines too on either end. If you get close enough, you'll see that it makes a little red line. It's like a little red leader. Red leader, standing by. Anyway, if you hover over that green dot and it makes a red leader, then you can kind of tap and drag to extend the length of that line, that curve. So you can do it on either end. Well, maybe just on the beginning. Let's see. That's whacking it out. I don't know why it's doing it. Let me drag it down a little bit more. I just want to add like one more length on the back. We saw one bear. There's a lot of wildlife there. We saw a few elk. A few bull elk. Those were crazy to see. Okay, I'm happy with this. I'm going to commit it by tapping on the surface. And then I'm going to turn symmetry off and just start working these two hairs in. from I forgot about that. I forgot he was from Jellystone. That's funny. Hello everyone just showing up. Okay, let's see. So this one on his left side, the screen right is shorter and this one's longer. So I'm just gonna kind of move these into position. I accidentally turned on Topological on my hairbrush, which I don't really need. I wanted it on my move brush, so when I move this piece around, it's not going to affect this piece. If that makes sense. And what I'm essentially doing is just redefining the hair one piece at a time. It takes this part of it takes patience, takes some time, so I'm sorry if it's not the most fun to watch. So that's why I tend to just ramble when I'm doing hair. It just takes a while to lay in these fibers, whatever you want to call them. This is what I call stylized chunky hair, because it's not individual hairs. It's just like chunks, you know. Did I see the Yogi Bear? Or did I see Yogi the Bear? But Yogi, what about the Ranger? I saw, like I said, I saw one bear and it was at a distance, but there's this place called Bear World that is kind of a bear refuge that's close to Yellowstone. And we went there to see, because it's one of those drive-through places where you can drive through and you can see a bunch of bears close up. You know, you essentially drive through them all. So that was kind of cool to see them close up. And then we had my kids. I had my 3 kids with us, and they, well, 3 out of 4. I have four kids. So, hey, what's up, Baymax? And they have 6 babies there that are like less than a year old, and they you can pay a little bit extra and they allow you to feed them, so you can actually feed the baby bears with a bottle, and that was the coolest thing ever. And they were just running around playing and fighting, and they're so cute. They look like teddy bears. Hey Cyan, I'm good, thank you. We're just working on this hair, laying these strands in one at a time, and I'm trying to decide how to do this part, because there's a part right here, and that's where these hairs are sprouting out, right? But then there's also kind of a part right here, and I'm just going to make it look like the hair is growing out of his head right here and not necessarily apart. So I need to figure out how that's all going to tie in. See if I can make it work. We'll see. Abdullah, nope. Usually you are your own worst critic. Every time. Every time. That's everybody. Okay, I'm going to lay in another piece right here. You know, I actually like that, but see if I can take it a little bigger. Okay. Thank you, Diego. Appreciate it. Okay, I'm just trying to work that one into place here. Okay, I'm going to commit that and then move it around. Let's turn on transparency so I can see through my block out, and just kind of work this shape into position. Whoop. Now with this hair, it has some extra kind of on the back side. It kind of has some extra hair in there, I guess. So I'm looking for this look. This just kind of, you know, 2 planes going down the surface. I'm not looking for these extra bits in there. But what's cool is it's depending on the direction that you go with your stroke, it will allow you to either flip it, you know, to see the other side or not, or you can draw it in there and like physically just rotate it around. So it's just kind of an option that you have with these hair pieces. It's kind of like well, it's an insert multi-mesh brush, so you have options. So if you want to have a hair with a surface that has more detail on it, you just kind of, you can flip it around. So kudos to Benjamin and Chris Whitaker on making these brushes. They're really nice. I'm going to activate dynamic subdivision to smooth them out. Hey, what's up, Brandon? How you doing, man? So yeah, Zanuck, the plan was to stream every other Monday on my own channel. So if you guys want to, you can follow me, Shane Olson Art, on Twitch. But so far it hasn't worked out. It's summertime and I've just been really busy with my family and different things and my workshop. So it hasn't happened like I've wanted it to. But I have been streaming every other Monday on here. I'm not sure whether I'm going to go back to every Monday or if I'm actually going to follow through and stream on my own channel. The reason why I want to stream on my own channel is just because I want to cover some other techniques and software and things like that, rather than just be on the Pixelogic channel. I love Pixelogic and I love streaming on here, but sometimes it's a tad limiting, just sometimes, not much. Okay, so there's that piece, and then I'll put another piece right here. Gotta search for this brush every time. I should really pull this brush and put it out. I'd put it out on my user interface, but I give this user interface away for free, and I'm not gonna give the Macon hairbrush away for free because it's not mine to give. So if you guys are interested in that Macon hairbrush, Neal was kind enough to post a link to Funky Bunnies. You can get the hairbrush there. But I really should put it on my user interface. And you can find the user interface on 3dcharacterworkshop.com. I just want one length. There we go. Is that going to work? It's going to have to work. All right. Yeah, family first. Yeah, Chris, no worries. Pleasure. So this hair is kind of getting twisted. I need to twist it back. I'm trying to remember how to do it. No. Okay, I'm going to commit that and then just twist it by hand. We also, so on the way to Yellowstone, there is you have to go through Idaho. And Idaho, of course, is known for its potatoes. They grow a lot of potatoes there, and they have a potato museum on the way. And we stopped at that museum, and it's super interesting. They have some French fries in there, or some people call them chips, depending on where you're from. And yeah, they're really, really good. But this museum has these, they keep potatoes in a cellar, right? So they had this like cellar in this museum, and they had these like sacks of potatoes that were characters, and they had like faces projected on them with a video camera, and then those faces were animated and telling like the story of potatoes like down in this cellar. So you were upstairs and you'd kind of look down into this cellar, and there was a mom and a mom and a dad and a kid potato sack characters. I'm just like, so weirdest thing. Oh, really? No Facebook links? Okay, guys, sorry about that over on Facebook. If you're wanting the links, come on over and watch on Twitch if you can. It's just Pixelogic's Twitch channel over on twitch.tv. There's also a delay over on Facebook of about 20 to 30 seconds. Yep, have you seen those before me? The Spuds, the Spud family, and the Tater Tot. Oh, it's just kind of funny. Okay, I want to get this, this silhouette here looking good. So I'm just nudging these all over in place here. So after I get all these hairs in place, eventually you'll kind of see how they work. Now, I'm not liking how these are ending, because see how this edge is nice and crisp, and then it goes, that edge kind of goes away as it goes to the tip. It looks like that's just kind of built into the brush. Yeah, I figured it kind of worked out. Instead of going through the head. Yep, thanks for the tip. I actually saved it into the brush that way now. The link to the brush is, so Neal was posting it, but it's Funky Bunnies here. I'll show you, let's see. Funky Bunnies 3D. So it's right here. So funkybunnies3d.com, go over to Tools, and then see the ZBrush stuff. Click on ZBrush brushes, and you'll find it right here. And there's a really cool eyelash brush and a curly hair brush and some other things. So you can grab them. But this is the brush I'm using right here. It's free on their website. Okay. Let's keep going here. I'm trying to think about this part now on this side and how the hair is going to part. And then I also have to think about how it's going to kind of grow out of the head on this side. Night Shadow, I haven't yet. I'm a big fan of Borderlands, so I will have to go check that out. Okay, so for this one, maybe I'll have it coming from underneath. Going like that. There we go. Yeah, I might want to go in here. That's why. So you can kind of see how this one ends. And that's why it's not carrying the edge all the way to the tip there. I might want to go in and edit that later on, that brush. What was the name of the site with the brushes? It's called funkybunnies3d.com. So links aren't working over on Facebook. Or Neal would post a link for you. What's up, Dave? No, okay. So the reason I have a white background, no, I'm in just a white room. I'm in a rental place while I'm getting a new home built. So this is just a temporary setup until I get my place built, which I'm going down there right after this to go talk to the electricians because they have some questions about some things. So that's gonna be funny. That's gonna be fun. That's why I have just a plain white background right now. It's like I'm in an Apple commercial or something. I want to ask, are the textures for the characters and the weapons, are they PBR or hand painted? For Night Shadow, oh, for the Borderlands? Probably a mixture of both, I would assume. because they do a really cool technique with a cartoonish type shader, which is almost a it's called a, gosh, what is it called? I want to say a self-lit, but unlit. It's an unlit. I have to remember what it looks like. But they do some outline tricks inside of the game engine itself to get that look. If you're talking about the Borderlands characters. Yeah, to do that outline around all the characters. The stream is lit. Stream's lit. All right. How you been, Dave? Are you going to the summit? Did I ask you that? You better be. Okay. I keep losing my place here. Just going to kind of compress that and set it in there. I'll see it. Hey, what's up, Caitlin? Yeah, having a house built. I'm super jazzed about that, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Do you know how crazy that sounds to have a house built? Well, when Caitlin, when you're from the yeah, it's there's a lot of homes being built around here because there's room for it still in the US. There's still land here. No, it's crazy, huh? So yes, I'm super humbled to have the opportunity to build one, because it's really cool because you can build it to your exact specs. Fish tacos, have you used the plugin Extract Plus? I have not. What is that? What is it? I think I've seen it. Is that the one? Is that the one made by Joe Pickup? Is that the one you're talking about? And Osita, how do you recommend sculpting stylized dreadlocks? I actually did some stylized dreadlocks on a character during one of my live streams. Let me go find it. And I honestly, I just kind of made a sphere and stretched it around, and it worked out. So if you go to pixelogic.com/ZBrush live, you can see us right now. You can go to presenters right here. And here's me right here. You can go to past broadcasts and schedule. And then you can see my past live streams. And if you scroll down here, it's been a while. Let's see. But I did a guy that had dreadlocks. Jeez, it's probably way back. There he is. This guy right here. So episode 64. This guy's got some dreadlocks. You can go watch that and check it out. So, yeah. I'm a beginner in ZBrush. Any tips? I'm frustrated when I start work. Airful, yeah, just take your time. Take it slow. And just, oh my gosh, I have some, so I teach how to do ZBrush online. I have 3D Character Workshop, and in this 3D Character Workshop, I have an absolute beginner course inside there that takes you through by the hand, and it's kind of like hand holds you through your first day. So, yeah, no worries, Asita. Thanks for hanging out. Anyway, it's my buddy Adam Manoa. He's a fantastic illustrator, and he wanted to learn ZBrush, and he was the same way. He was just super frustrated. So I said, let's hop on a live call, and I'll just walk you through it, and I'll record it, and then I will put it I'll put it up for the students to check out. So now it's kind of a bonus. But let's see. I'll kind of show you behind the scenes. So if you go to 3dcharacterworkshop.com, and if you're in the course, you go to My Library, and then right here, it's called Early Beginner Walkthrough. You click on this, and it's a 10-part series walking Adam through his first day in ZBrush. So if you're interested in that, there you go. It's part of the course. But other than that, I would say maybe just check out some YouTube videos, like from Danny Mac. He's got some really good ones. Michael Pavlovich has some really good ones. And so the course is really, really big. So it's you can go check it out if you just go to 3dcharacterworkshop.com and click on there's a button that goes to the course, and you can read all about it right there. And it shows you what the price is there. I don't want to say on live stream because it might change in the future, and if people watch this in the future, the cost might be different. So just go check that out if you want to see what it is. Okay, let's see. Let's put this hair over here. Yeah, you'll need to slow it down to half speed with Michael Pavlovich, for sure. Yep, that guy can talk a million miles an hour. Okay, Caitlin, if you're still here, I love that latest gremlin that you've been working on. He's looking great. No worries, Abdullah. Thanks for asking. I just wish I could be a little more candid about it. Okay, so let's see here. Maybe make this a little straighter. Your latest gizmo. Yeah, I like them all, but your latest gizmo, it feels like an upgrade from the original one that you'd done. It's just nice to see. So Caitlin's one of my students. It's just nice, super nice to see, and feel free to share it, Caitlin, if you want, if you have an image of it. It's nice to see your progression, your skills getting better. It's a lot of fun. All right, we'll have to see what to do about these after I hide the block out like this, what it's going to actually look like. And then I think I need to bury these two hairs that are coming out right here. Like I said, they need to have a starting place, like make it look like they're actually growing out of his head rather than just like laying on there. Okay. Fish tacos, I've been thinking about it a lot, but the thing is, it's when I start to split up the cost of it, it becomes high maintenance, because then I have to chase it down if people skip payments or whatever, and it's just, I'm not a collector, you know what I mean? So I've been hesitant to do it. I want to, so more people can get in there and afford it, but at the same time, it's like, oh man, I don't want to track people down. There you go. Yeah, he's awesome. Turned out great. Okay, let's get some of these little ones in here. This is going pretty fast, I think. Let's see, it's been 35 minutes so far, not too bad. Whoa. There we go. Let's see, let's straighten this out. So sometimes when you lay in a hair, or a hair clump or whatever it is with these insert multi-mesh tri-part brushes, if it's following the surface and it's twisting and being kind of weird, what you can do is just drag it around and it will straighten it out or not. You know what I mean? Like if you want to put twists into it, you can actually kind of, if this was longer, my friend Steve James showed this to me, but you can actually physically twist it in the air and then give it some curls. He did this Gandalf with a brush like this, and he twisted up the beard so it had twists in it, and he physically spun it around, which is really cool. I didn't know you could do that. I think he accidentally found it, but he used it to his advantage and it worked out great. Okay, I want this one to come in front of this hair hanging down, just like it is on the other side, kind of. And I'm also looking to create kind of a hairline, even though this, so Luigi's drawn it straight down here like this. So I am going to try and get it straight, but sometimes it's nice to break up that straight edge with a bit of a hairline so it looks like the hair is growing out of the head. And also, I'll be going to the ZBrush Summit this year and the Lightbox Expo. So if any of you are planning on going to either of those, I'm gonna have a booth at the Lightbox Expo for the first time ever, and so you can come by and ask questions about the workshop and things like that. And I'm just going to the ZBrush Summit as a nerd, as a spectator, fan of ZBrush guy. So feel free to, you know, if you see me, just grab me and say hi. What's up, Mel's Art Stuff? How's it going? You gonna be there? Sweet. It's gonna be good. What's up, Mark? Yeah, ship it. It's done. I need to get all the hairs in the back. There's a lot left to do. I wish I could say ship it. But thank you. Let's see. I really want to get this the silhouette of this hair going. So I'm gonna shorten it up a bit. Also, maybe use the snake hook brush. Sometimes the snake hook brush. Oh, hey, what's up, Melinda? How you doing? So you're gonna be there? Yeah, I know who you are. Awesome. So yeah, it'll be good to see you. Oh, you're not gonna be there. Okay. Well, dang it. Are you gonna go to any of the expos, like CTN or anything like that? I won't be at CTN this year. I might go again next year. I've been to CTN for the past 4 years now. I love it to death, but it's kind of getting tired for me. So I want to try the Lightbox thing and see how it is. And you know, I can only go to so many expos a year, so I want to try some different ones. I would really, really love to go to Trojan Horse Was a Unicorn, if I can figure out how to get out there. THU for short. Oh, it's crunch time? That's not fun. There we go. No, Phantom. It'll be open to the public. You can't on Twitch. You can't do live streams for private. You can't. There. Let me say that again. You can't do private live streams on Twitch. You can do that on YouTube, but not Twitch. Speaking of which, I do stream live for my students once a week on Wednesdays on YouTube. Because I'm doing a new character for them so they can kind of follow along and watch me. It's almost like 3D Character Workshop 2.0. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I will be I'll be streaming, I think, on Twitch. And Facebook Live and YouTube all at the same time, like I do with this channel. I think I want to pull this into his head and make it not so thick. Let's hide this, because I'm just kind of looking at the hairline right here. I don't want them to collide or overlap. See this little, see how this little thing is kind of interpenetrating the other one? I want it to clear it so it's not being interrupted the other hairs. Same with this one. I want to make sure that they're all kind of being clean and not running into each other. Like that, kind of. Hey Doom, welcome. Very cool. Yeah, it's free, it's not paid. You don't have to pay extra to get the student only live stream. Yeah, Phantom. Sometimes I do accidentally grab the mouse and start clicking and moving. It's just I'm just thinking about the movements and not necessarily what my hands are doing. So sometimes I'll be doing it with the mouse. You caught me. Shush. I try and use my Cintiq for the most part. When I use my mouse the most is like when I'm doing retopology. You're like, I hear a lot of clicking. What is happening? What are you doing right now? Okay, let's see. Yeah, because I'll start. It's easier for me to like spin around my model sometimes with my mouse, and then sometimes I'll just forget to switch back to my pen. No, it's this microphone that catches more. I don't know, for some reason my my microphone that I used to use stopped working. Like the one hooked to my giant mixer thing. It's like all this complex setup, and I just kind of got tired of dealing with it. So I just went and picked up a Yeti Nano, which is this really tiny little streamer microphone, but it works really well and it's easy to set up, and it's USB. I can just plug it right into my computer, and for the most part it's been working pretty good. Here, I don't know why my light, I'm just adjusting my light on my webcam here. If I put my hand up close, it changes, and I can turn this off. There. It was getting kind of dark. The light's changing outside the window. I actually have natural light in this office where I didn't have natural light in my old place. Okay. These hairs. I'll do one more going down. I think I might smooth this one out just a little bit. Whoa, too much. Something like that. Yeah, it's not you, it's me. Hair is really easy to make warbles in. Okay. So this hairbrush keeps falling below the surface I'm working on. Yes, so listen to Neal. If you go to the top menu, depth Control Z to follow the surface. So, is that under stroke? Neal, remind me. Or is it? I'm trying to remember. Depth. Remind me where that's at and I'll show it. It is a bit Dragon Ball Z. It's like, I was actually going to continue some of these hairs to continue it Dragon Ball Z in the back, just to kind of make it spiky going back there. Picker, depth, Z, right? Continuous Z. There you go. So turn this on and it will make that brush follow the surface. There you go. Thanks, Neal. Yeah, otherwise the brush will kind of just drop down inside. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to do a couple more little hairs in here. I kind of want this this one to go down inside more. So you want me to show, are you talking about the depth? So if you go to Picker, depth right here, and then Continuous Z, that'll make that hairbrush not drop into the surface when you're drawing the curves. I was struggling with that for the longest time until Neal set me straight. Raise this guy up. Whoop. Just want to shorten him a little bit more. You need to be careful with the smooth brush on these hairs because you'll end up smoothing out these sharp edges really easily. Which sometimes you want that, but sometimes you don't. So you might have to go back in and pinch it again. Okay, let's go back to... Is there a way to save that? Yeah, I saved it in the I saved it in the I think in the project, my startup project. I can't remember, or I can't remember if you save it in the brush right here or not. I'm trying to remember. His head is wider on the forehead in the concept. I had this problem too on my last block out. When do you change that in general? Better now or after you finish the hair block out? That's what I'd like to know for the workflow. Hey, what's up, Marcus? So basically, Marcus, what I'll do is I will lay out the hair and then I'll react to it. So after I get all the pieces in place, then what I'll do is, you know, I'll float this guy, the concept over the top. I just kind of luckily have a front view of this guy, so I can zoom it up and just kind of match it and see where I'm off. Plus his head is tilted a little bit. Let's see, let me line up these eyes. So I can turn the concept like this and just kind of line it up. See, like this. So essentially what's going on right now, these are the things that I have to fix. And it's kind of nice. I can put this over here and adjust the opacity, and I can check it against the actual original concept. And so you can see my eye shapes are slightly off, the nose is a little bit off, the face is off. I have his eyebrows a little too low, but the hairline is actually okay. And I have his hair bigger than the concept. So I also have to make sure I check it with perspective on. See how if I turn on perspective, it's going to change. See how the hairs are larger in orthographic? I hit P, it's going to turn it into perspective, and then I'll need to line it up a little better again. So the hairs are a little closer in perspective, but I need to adjust those a little bit more. But that's what I usually do, is just kind of check it against the concept. So let's see. Just line it up a little bit better. There we go. So I'm just trying to match this as close as I can. Yep, optical illusion. And you know what, Marcus, what you can do with that though is if it feels like it's not matching the concept, feeling your gut instinct, your gut feelings are more powerful than what it actually looks like. So if it's feeling off, if it feels like it needs to be bigger, you can experiment with it and try to make his forehead bigger and see if it actually, sometimes it will feel more like the concept even though it's off, if that makes sense. So I would just kind of experiment with it and see what it would look like if you pushed it beyond the concept, because sometimes the concept, like I said, sometimes in perspective, it just doesn't match. It doesn't feel like, I can see what you're saying. Sometimes the concept artist will draw more of what you can actually see on the sides of the head than what is real, and it just makes it not feel the same. So I'm going to pull, yeah, so then you can just start experimenting and start pulling the hairs around to make it feel like the concept more. And when do you do that? You can do it whenever you want. You can do it while you're laying the hairs in. You can do it after you're all done. It doesn't really matter when you do it. Just, it's kind of a continuous process. You're just constantly adjusting, right? So you're constantly going back and forth and matching the concept all the time. But do you put it on one layer to control the whole head, or do you change on every subtool? It depends on how much you want to adjust it, right? If you're only adjusting the little hairs, like say I want to adjust these eyebrows or whatever, I only need to adjust the eyebrows. But if I'm going to adjust more, like if I want to make, say there's a huge adjustment, and say I want to make his entire forehead larger, right? What you can do here, let me just save this as number 2. Okay, so what you can do is just use this Tipos master, this Tipos mesh, and just click on that, and it's going to push it all into one subtool right here. And then what you can do is make large changes and move everything at once. But say you wanted to keep the eyes as spheres, you don't want to, because sometimes if you're going to go in and make big changes, like you're going to move stuff around. Here, let me turn off Topological. Say I'm going to move this around. It's going to actually stretch those eyeballs, right? So what you want to do is mask those eyeballs off so you don't accidentally make those non-spherical, or you're going to have to build them again later. So basically what you can do now is activate Symmetry and say I want to pull his forehead up and make it larger. See how I can just nudge the entire thing all at once? And you can do this either in perspective or in orthographic. It doesn't really matter. But check it in perspective always. Okay, you'll want to just check your camera and make sure that it looks how you want it to look. Also try different camera angles. Like, see these right here, these focal distances. I usually tend to use like 50 or 85, 35, 28, 24. They start to get too fisheye, and the perspective gets too wonky. So just make sure you're down in 50, and that's actually closer to orthographic because it's a flatter kind of a lens. And then when you're when you're all done, all you have to do is just kind of clear your mask and go back to Tipos, and it will make all those changes, and there you go. So that's how you make big changes, essentially. So yeah, you're probably right, Abdullah. These hairs go down further than the concepts for sure. Just turn that on and just like raise them up. But it's so easy to make these little changes. You know, basically what you do is just kind of go back and forth and figure it out. So I've been sculpting for a while, but I never use Tipos. Can you tell me what it is for really? Yeah, it's for posing. So it's for posing your characters inside of ZBrush without a rig. That's what it's mainly for. Okay, this hair is bugging me. So I'm gonna fix it. I don't like it kind of scooping back. I just want it to go one direction. So I'm learning it right now, Mel, a little bit. I'm getting into it a little more for retopology and UVs and stuff like that. But I'm just kind of getting into it right now a little bit. But I love the 2.8 upgrade. They made it kind of usable. Okay, let me do a little hair right here. I'm probably not going to take the time today to fill in his entire head with a bunch of hairs right now. I'm just going to keep it just to the, I'm just going to border it right now. Let me fill this in. Is that what you guys use? Have you guys been using that? Okay, so I'm going to fill this in. Hey, what's up, Near? Right. Phantom, you're right. I'll be like, hey, we're done. Ship it. Oh yeah, for renders, for sure. Yeah, it's very, I think Blender is very complementary when it comes to ZBrush. And using it in the pipeline alongside of ZBrush. Okay, let me pull in some of these things. The hair tiara, the crown of hair. Yeah, I guess it really depends on your final, where you're trying to go with it. So, and what you're trying to do. But it works really well for some things and not so well for others. It's getting there though. I'll push this down in. Okay. So I think I'm just going to leave the block out for the back of the head right now, and then just kind of leave the rest and continue working on the teeth and the eyes and things like that. So Frosty Dog, when you said that, you said it. And that is correct. It's just a tool. Practice your art. Are there tutorials out there how to make the new toon shaders work? I have, if you watch some of my past streams, I've, right after 2019, ZBrush 2019 came out, I did a lot of using that toon shader. I was playing with it quite a bit. I might even put it on this guy. He looks like he could benefit from it. So, but yeah, there's tutorials out there. It's just kind of a Google search thing. You'd be able to find some on YouTube or something. But they're really fun. Fun to play with. Oh, you're welcome, Frosty. Okay, let's get some teeth in there. That'll really, and his eyes, I think that'll really start to make him feel like the concept more. I gotta drag this nose down. That's helping. Maybe even up a little bit. And then smooth this out. Because then it makes him feel like he's got nostrils, even though he doesn't. And it makes it feel like it's kind of connected right here. You can see how it's blended right there. Hey, what's up, Bobo? How you doing? That's funny. I just barely did an interview with Joe Pickup for my students, and he dropped your name. Okay, let's see. Yeah, man, thanks for dropping by. Okay, to make these teeth, I'm just going to insert a cylinder. Something like this. The entire, oh man, no pressure, right? Oh man. All right, let's split unmasked parts. Jam his teeth in there. Hi from Mama Nom. How's it going, you guys? Where are you located? Are you up in Washington? Or where are you guys at? Oh man, you're in Austin. Okay, right on. Well, welcome everybody. Eight of you. Right on. That's cool. What are you guys working on right now? Can you say? All right, let's just turn on. You know, since these teeth have such an interesting silhouette, I'm just going to, what am I gonna say? I'm going to Sculptress Pro them. Oh, Heroes of the Storm skins. Right on. You guys probably know Leslie then, right? I know he's at Blizzard in California, but he's on their team. Leslie Vandenbroek. He's a good kid. All right, I'm gonna cut off the back of this, delete it, and then extrude it to give it some thickness. Oh, not that. Come on. That's what I want. Right on. I need to play that game again. It's been a while. All right. So now that I have this, I'm going to essentially destroy the teeth by adding some real subdivisions. And just smoothing it down, getting rid of that really sharp edge there. You know, I might not have to Sculptress Pro this. I'm just going to turn off Symmetry and just start. Going. Making his teeth have that interesting silhouette there. Let's subdivide this again to give me a little bit more detail. Makes me want to look at Luigi's real teeth and see, like, what do your teeth really look like there, Luigi? Let's see. When retopologizing full character, do you combine all the subtools or keep them separate and retopple them one at a time? It is a big question to answer, and very quickly what I can say is I usually group them by like UV set or material set. Like everything that I want to be on that UV square, that grid, I will group all those pieces together, and then I'll UV those or retopologize those, and then UV those, and then it's all kind of the same, and then bring them all back in and group them together that way. Okay, and his bottom lip is, I have it way too thick down in here. So I want to give him a tongue and a mouth interior so it looks, so I'm getting that darkness happening in there and the darkness in the corners of his mouth. And he's got this expression too, so I need to kind of work all that out. It's gonna take a bit. Austin, you know, I've never been to Austin. I need to go. My friend Mike Hoops works there. He used to work on that Star Wars MMO for, who did that? Is it BioWare? All right, let's see. So this is Sculptris Pro. I'm gonna turn it on just so I can try and, let's crank this intensity. Why in the world? I don't have Topological on. For some reason, this is really... Okay. It's like trying to affect more than it should. Probably because I have the top lip showing and it's trying to cross. Getting confused on where to cut. So I'm going to lasso just this piece. There we go. Does that make sense, Neal? Whoa. Yeah, that was it. Oh yeah, I can't. Sculptris Pro is like, you can't hide that. Hey, what's up, Pedro? Yeah, I can't get enough of Luigi's designs. Well, this one, on this one, he asked for it pretty much. He's like, draw this in your style. Okay. Twist my arm. Luigi just knows, he knows his forms so well that it makes it a pleasure to sculpt his stuff. Just cutting out this and giving it some thickness. All right, I'm going to actually pull the color from his mouth and just paint it in here. Starting with the bottom of his mouth. Then we'll do the top. Makes him look like one of those zombies that has half their jaw missing. Yep, lots of cherries. He's a cherry lover. His upper lip's pretty thick too. Would that be a compliment? You got a pretty thick upper lip there. Man. Okay. Maybe I should come into it like this way. You know what's cool? That's a pretty good tip. Yeah, Mitch Lewis stuff. A good tip is if you're ever going to cut something like this, here, let me finish painting this in here. So to make his lip thinner like that, basically what I did is I went pretty heavy with the detail brush. And what that does is it creates valleys on both sides. So here, 1 second. Just paint this little guy. Okay. so essentially, let me show you up here. So if I take this detail brush and I can turn Sculptress Pro mode on, it doesn't matter. And I cut in something like this, because he has this cut in his head. See how it makes two sides of the valley, two peaks kind of a thing. And say, if I wanted to do like a stair step, right? Instead of a valley, I want it to go like this and then down and then across. Well, you can grab this fill brush and you can do, this fill brush works one of two ways. You can either fill up a valley like this, works pretty well, or you can use the alternate of it and hold down Alt and cut away the surface. And so you can cut up to that detail line and then kind of just smooth it out and make that drop off. If I can spend more time and make it not so warbly and weird, but you can kind of see what I'm talking about, how it kind of goes this way, cuts down and goes like that, And that's kind of how I did the interior, that mouth. Is the lips were too thick, so I kind of cut them in half and then removed that material behind the lips there. Okay. All right. So now it's looking better. It's a little thinner. Oh, those Grimwood characters. Yeah, he always has these projects going on too, that are like, it's just fun to watch him come up with these designs because they're all very cohesive and they all kind of go together. He's a brilliant kind of storyteller in his characters alone. Super cool stuff. All right, let's see. Let's get a tongue in there. And if you grab a color before you draw the insert multi-mesh, it will insert it with that color applied. Whoops. He doesn't have a spherical or a cylindrical tongue. There we go. Ship it. It's done. Blah. Too far forward. There we go. Okay, now I'm actually gonna put this in its own subtool. Whoops. Okay, I want to make sure I have selected the correct thing and just kind of move his mouth out and around to fit the tongue rather than fit the tongue to his mouth, because it was just kind of cutting it off in a weird way. There we go. Do I ever use the transpose line? Only in certain instances. And the only instance I really use it is to bend an object, because I really love how it does a bend. Like for example, with his neck. If I wanted to bend that neck, what I could do is I could mask it off like this, invert it, and then grab the transpose line and run it down the neck like this. And then if I hold down Alt and grab this little white circle, I can bend the neck like that. And that's essentially the only thing I use the transpose line for. It's just to bend stuff. But other than that, I've kind of moved past it, and I just use the gizmo now. Thanks, Hitch Amaville. The concept is done by Luigi. I keep saying Luigi Lucarelli. I don't know if it's Lucarelli, I'm not sure how to say it. Okay. Or Luch, I don't know. I should ask him. Just gonna pinch this a little stronger. Make it just a little more apparent in here. kind of want the valley to be stronger than the peak out here. There. Polish this. See, it's got some lumps going through here. It's a little hard to see. That's better. Okay, so I want to get his eyes on there. Actually, I want his ears bigger. I'm gonna pull his ears out a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so with his eyes, let's just do the whole... Neal, I really need to make some eyes that I just bring in every time, because I do this every single time. Let's see. There we go. Let's go split, unmask points, arrow down. What's up, Benjamin? And then I'm going to replace these spheres because these are quad spheres. I actually want them to be pole spheres. So I'm going to grab this and replace it with sphere 3Ds, which have poles. Woo! That's fun. What do you think? You like these eyeballs? And I'm going to go down to here, reduce. Whoa, not that. Let's see. Let's turn off dynamic so we can actually see what's going on here. What's my opinion about Sculptress Pro? It's great. It has its place for sure. So 16, let me see, that's good. 16 is good. Okay, so now I want to go back to Gizmo 3D. Do you? Awesome, I should. I don't know why I make it again every single time, it's just stupid. I should just have a pair of eyes that I bring in every time. All right, I'm gonna go group by normals. Whoa, that's right. So that's one thing about these spheres inside of ZBrush. When you bring them in, it doesn't weld the center points. So these are actually all quads. Gosh dang, come on. These are actually all quads inside this the pole, and they're not welded. So if I weld them, it's going to make them triangles. So let me see, let me do a group by normal again. There we go. Group by normal again, they went away because now I welded those points all together. Do a mirror and weld. How do you overcome Dynamesh messing up your polygroups? It depends on what I'm doing with the Dynamesh, whether I need to keep my polygroups or not. Delete hidden. So usually I keep my pieces, my objects as separate polygroups and not necessarily the internal workings. Sometimes I will, it just depends on what I'm doing. I don't know, but I usually don't try to retain the polygroups when I Dynamesh very often. I do occasionally. Excuse me, let's see. Okay. Subdivide this down. I want to make this have its own polygroups right here. Well, right here. And then one more. There. And then I like to insert edge loops just to help me with the, because I'm going to put in some poly paint. So I just put some edge loops on the inside and the outside. So then when I subdivide this, it will give me some harder edges that I can color. All right. I don't know why I did two. This should just be one pupil, not a pupil and a pupil. So let me, whoops, group these together. There we go. And then I want to take out, actually I'm just going to roll back to this. There we go. Okay. Don't know what I was doing there. There we go. Because this is just supposed to be a pupil and an iris. Looks like a deer in the headlights. Let's do local symmetry. Do I have any fast tricks to very beginner on 3D art? No, not really. Other than just getting in there and working, you know, just start practicing. I always equate learning 3D art or 3D characters to learning an instrument. You know, you kind of have to learn your scales, learn your chords, learn your like musical notation if you want to learn how to read music, that kind of stuff. It's a lot like that. Okay, let me see why. But I do, so I teach, I have 3D character workshop. That's what I do for a living, is I teach how to do this online. And I go from very, very early beginner all the way through to pro, like the entire character pipeline. And so if you're interested in that, you can go to 3dcharacterworkshop.com and check that out. And I have specific beginner courses in there. I have one that's like your first day inside of ZBrush, and then I have one it's actually a Luigi Lucarelli concept that I walk you through and how to build it step by step, kind of a thing. So you can check that out if you're interested. Okay, I'm going to actually just solo these eyes, and then I'm going to project these irises on the eyes so they will match the surface. See that? Just tightens right up against the surface. Looks like I have an old head in there. There we go. And I want to, I do want to increase the size of those pupils a bit. So I'm going to slide those edges along the surface. See if I can do that. I'm just removing some of those edges because I just want to slide this, and then I'll add them back in. It's easier to do it that way. Whoops, I want to do the whole thing. Edge loop complete. Make this bigger. Or let's see. I'm actually looking to see if this next row would make more sense as the pupil. Let's see. What I'm gonna do is bring the concept over, turn the opacity down, and just kind of see what makes sense as far as pupil size goes. Yeah, see, it almost looks like that next row. I'm looking at this eyeball right here. That next row would be good to match. Let's see. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Just double checking to make sure I'm not cuckoo. then I can hide this and this, put it in its own polygroup. There we go. And now I have the new pupil, and I'm going to insert those edge loops back in. There we go. And then I want to project it again, just to double check. Project all. Okay, we're good. I should just delete this head. I don't need it anymore. So I've actually used Sculptress Pro on his face right here. You can see that. So that worked out pretty good. Okay, so now I have these pupils. All right, Abdul, thanks for hanging out. Okay, I do want to crease. I want to just crease the edge, the outer edge, because if I put a crease on it, you'll see that it'll go back to the original size that it needed to be. Does that projection create a separate part you can export as an STL in case you wanted to print in multiple materials? The projection, no, the projection just projects one object and matches the surface of another object. So I was essentially just projecting the iris onto that eyeball. If I was going to print this, I would build the eyes in a completely different way. I would actually probably use live Boolean and scoop the iris out and scoop the pupil out with a cylinder. So when it printed, it would give the illusion of how an eye actually works. And then put like little cylindrical highlights in there. Yeah, I would build the eye differently if I was going to print this guy. This is essentially what I do when I do these ZBrush live streams. I just make a character that I can do in 1 or 2 streams that I'm going to just render out as an illustration, not necessarily print. Sometimes I will if I do a big one, like I did that Pirate Girl a while back. And yeah, that's exactly how. Yeah, that's I can't remember if I did the eyeball that way during a live stream or if I did it after the fact and printed it out that way. So, hey, what's up, Harry? No, this is so this is my temporary location. I'm renting out this place right now while I'm getting a house built, and so I'm just kind of here while I wait for the home to be built. So that's why I have white walls and weird camera and yeah. How you been, man? Let's see. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I'm building the new place. Totally has a new office, and it actually has natural light and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to it. Should be good. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to color these eyes really quick. I'm going to grab a color off of here, maybe that color, and fill this. All right, gotta hide that ruler. So Neal, did I scoop them out that way? I can't recall. Okay, let's see. I'm going to so I want to kind of fake this iris look and use my airbrush to paint this lower color on here. I don't know if there's enough geometry. I'm going to subdivide it a couple times. Just hit apply on here. There we go. Go a little bit wider, closest to the pupil here. Hey, over there on YouTube, how's it going? Okay, and then for these pupils, Let's just fill these in with black. And then I'm just going to fill this with a material called Toy Plastic, which just gives a single kind of a white highlight across those eyes. Like that. Let's see, material, fill. Make sure you go back to RGB and change it back to skin shade 4, and then it'll kind of stay. And it doesn't, the highlight really doesn't work as well as it should because I have those extra lines in there holding that color. Do uncrease. I'm going to try and project it again. Sometimes projecting it will help. Hold on a second. Let me subdivide the eyeball underneath. So what was going on there is it was projecting to the low resolution eyeball that was underneath there. So I needed to give it some more subdivision levels. Let's go up to 700,000. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to project this again. That should help a lot. Okay. Actually, it projects it so close that it pushes it through the surface. Whoops, I don't want to lose the color though. Usually when I say project all, it asks me if I want to project the polypane as well. In this case, I don't. Let's see, project. Try to remember project. Put this down or inner. Yeah, it's just doing it regardless. Well, dang it. See, if after I project it and then I just solo it, yeah, gosh dang, I'm gonna need to project the color again. So what I can do, I'm trying to think how I can keep that color. Okay. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna store the morph target on this. Store it, and then roll back to before I projected, right there. No, it loses it. Dang it. Okay, I'm just gonna have to paint it again. No, if I duplicate the subtool, well, I could, and then I could store a morph target on that. Let me try that. Okay, here we go. Duplicate the subtool. Then I'm going to, this is going to be tricky. Tricky. All right. I'm going to show this. Hide this. Project all. Okay, which projects it. It loses the color, but it's now conformed to the surface of the eye, but without the color. So I'm going to store a morph target like that. Where is it? Morph target. I think I had it up there. Store morph target. And then go back to, I'm going to hide this, show this, and now say project, which is going to project the color and the position back to what it was. Hide this, and then switch morph targets. And that should give us both. But it did leave me a little white outline around here. But that should work. So let's see if I show everything. Okay, it's right on the surface. Let me just pull it out just a little bit. Boink, ever so slightly. There we go. All right, so the whole reason I did that is so I can get the highlight to work correctly. So now you can see that it's got a nice round highlight on there, that goes across the pupil and the eye itself. So that's what I wanted. But it did leave me with a little bit of bleed down here because it's got this little white border. So I'm just going to try and hand paint that out with airbrush here. Let's crank my intensity up a little bit. See, it's going to kind of ruin it. Grab this. I wonder, does it have a mask on there? It does. That's why. I don't know. I'm just gonna repaint it really quick. Just this part. Shouldn't take much. So I'm actually gonna snag, let's see, fill it with this color. Oh, you know what? I think it's missing the material as well. Nah, spotlight projections is fine. But see how the material ends before that? So when I projected that other piece, I actually lost the material on here as well. So I need to project, or I need to fill this object with the material as well as the color. So let me do that. Let's go back to Toy Plastic, change this to M, and hit fill. See that? Now it's not doing that anymore. And that was it. So go back to RGB and grab this light blue color. Kind of hard to see down in there. Okay, and just paint this. The lightness back up in there. There we go. Boom. Okay, now I can change back away from Toy Plastic to Skin Shade. And now it has the nice highlights and it has the good things happening. And I can pose him in his little smile. Let's turn off Symmetry. I just want to bring this side of his mouth up and kind of mess with his eye shapes too a little bit. I really want to get that change of direction, that arc happening. Make him look like he's smiling like that. Good old Luigi. Whoops. Bring this part of his mouth down to get that kind of rounded top lip. We can check it in perspective. I do want to bring his eyelashes closer to his eyes, because that gap of skin, even though it's correct, anatomically correct, it's kind of bugging as far as design goes. Just looking weird. All right, I'm just gonna get his shirt blocked in. Turn perspective back off. I do want to pull his neck down and form that neck shape after I get his shirt kind of in there. Let me grab a color off of here. Find the center. Yep, I know exactly who you're talking about, Phantom, and he's actually signed up for my course and everything. I honestly don't know what to say. I'm trying to decide if I care or not. He actually did a really good job, but The only problem I really have with it is he didn't credit, or it just kind of makes it look like he modeled them first, which that's the only real problem I have with it, I guess. I don't have a problem with the fact that he modeled them. It's because that's kind of it's a good practice in a way to, you know, as far as like getting better at being a modeler, is emulating other models. So, but yeah, it is kind of weird. I just don't really know. No, okay, no, he basically modeled like Disney Infinity characters and like Venom and stuff like that. But there's it's kind of like a copy of a copy. They're slightly off. Oh, he did the Pirate Girl too? Okay, maybe I don't. Maybe Phantom, you can send me an email to Shane Olson at 3dcharacterworkshop.com. I just want to check him out. That's kind of weird. What do they say? That's the sincerest form of flattery, is emulation. So whatever. Oh, really? Seen somebody do the cowboy? Well, you know, when I'm doing the whole process live so people can watch, it's not surprising that that happens, you know? And I'm okay with it, whatever. Okay, split NMS points. Branko, I will probably off stream because it's not. I only have so much time to stream. Like I have 15 minutes left before I stop, so I probably won't, because it's kind of. Thanks, Phantom. It's kind of a bore to watch somebody just lay in all these hairs, you know. At least I kind of find it a bore to watch people do it. So I just kind of give you a preview of what I would do, and then I'll probably do it offline. Okay, let's see. Let's see here. And I'm probably going to just cut in this stuff in poly paint. I'm not going to spend too much time modeling all that out either. Sorry, I'm doing this with the mouse again. Yeah, so essentially this is just a block out. This, you know, this hair right here. What I want to do is essentially fill the rest of this out with strands that are nice and clean, just like this. So, you know, so it's like a continuation and it looks finished. Because right now it's completely not finished. All right, I do want to finish the nose off a little bit more. Turn the intensity down. And then kind of build these back again. Too much. Something like that. And then I also have to decide, like, if, you know, what I want to do with the hair chunks, as far as, see how this is all kind of blended together as one big piece, and then the pieces kind of grow out of it. And the way I have it, it's all kind of together, or in separate pieces, sorry. And so I need to decide if I want to, like, try and blend it all so it looks like one big piece where they're growing out of, or not, or just leave them as separate pieces. Hey, what's up, Sumerian? How you doing? It's been a while. Let's see. All right, something like that. Use the ore brush. Oh, I usually don't. I have in the past. I usually use this this chisel brush now if I'm going to do like cut in detail like that. But sometimes I'll use the Orbs Cracks brush. It just depends what the goal is there, like what kind of look I'm going for. Straighten this out. And I want to open his mouth a little bit more, just to kind of get that super happy face. Super happy face. And I like how his lips kind of being pulled off to the side a little bit. Grab his tongue, pull it down. For hair, yeah, like sometimes I'll use the Orbs brush for hair, sometimes I won't. It depends on if I'm doing some lines, like cutting some lines. It just depends on the look of the hair that I'm going for. Sometimes I'll block it in that way. Most of the time, though, when I make hair, I just block it in a big chunk, just like I did with this guy, and then I'll go back in with a hairbrush and lay in the individual strands and just kind of tune them, just because it gives such a cleaner look. And I'll also go back in here and do these little small detailed hairs, like back in here. I'm not going to leave them these goober hairs like this. That doesn't look too good. You know, I'll physically put in some more strands, and I'll do like little tiny strands like this. The only part that's bugging me on this guy's hair right now is I don't like how these hairs are kind of resolving themselves right here. It just doesn't look natural. They just look like they're just kind of laid on his head, you know, instead of growing out of his head. So I'll need to work on that a little bit. Okay. Oh, that's too much. I just want to kind of polish this clean a little bit. What's up, Gray? Let's see, we're at 50. And let's see, let me go in here and I'm going to just kind of cut in some of these details and color this up. Apply it. I usually will subdivide up to about 1 million or so, close to 1 million. So essentially when I would go around like his neck, let's see what I can do with this. It's too much. All right. I might just I try all different things when I'm making stuff. Usually what I would do with this guy is I would take the Topology brush and just make actual clothing on him. But for this, I'm just gonna kind of wing it and cut it in. So if I do a morph target, and then I use this chisel brush, I can cut in these little sleeve cut details like this. Okay. And if you save a morph target, what you can do is you can come back on like the front, like where you started, and it'll try its best to snap. So you can kind of continue that line around without it making issues. And it is going to make it a little choppy. Let's see. Just kind of finish it off underneath there. But you can come back and clean it up with like your smooth brush. It makes a very sharp, deep cut. This is kind of like the Orbs Crack brush, but somewhat cleaner in a way. And it has its own utilities. Like I said, you can start and stop, and you can cross over itself. Like what I mean is you can start a line and go over it like this, and it's not going to make issues right here where you cross and make these weird stair-steppy things. And the only way you get that is if you store a morph target along with the brush to make it work. So I'm going to try and just cut in a line around this neck, just so it finishes off. You see it pixelating like this? No, they're yeah, they are true subdivisions, but the way ZBrush works is when you rotate your model, it will default down to the lowest subdivision level while you rotate, just to help with performance. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Estaco? Estasco? Okay. Yeah, you can also cross the middle and it's not going to make janky weirdness either. Yeah, you're right, Bronco. I like the orb crack better for hair, for sure. Also, I like clay buildup for hair too, if you're going for kind of a more realistic look. Let's fix that. Sometimes with a Cintiq, your hand gets in the way. And I'll just do one more, like right here. And probably like right here. Then I can just kind of do an overall smooth, just really big, and smooth it down, just to knock off those really crispy edges that the chisel brush makes. The new 22? What are you talking about? You can always come back and tune it with the move brush a little bit. Turn off Topological. Oh, the new 22-inch? I have not seen it. Like new since when? Like new? Pull this out. Oh, July? I don't know that I have. Oh, non-pro, so not 4K? I don't know, I'll have to check it out. This one is not 4K. The one I'm working on right now is, yeah, just a, what's the resolution that's one up from 1080p? It's like, it's not 4K, but it's somewhere in the middle. All right, let's get this. Hey, how's it going? Does 4K really help? I don't know. I've never used it, so you can, you know, it comes to a point where you can only see so much, and then it just depends on the size of the screen versus the size of the pixels. I need to find that edge mask thing again. There's this brush that my friend Ian Jacobs found. It was like an edge masking brush. Let me see if it's in here. And I lost it. I need to find it again. Brush, brush, brush. Gosh dang, where is it? I don't know. I can't see masking brushes. Anyway, it had like I could paint. There's a setting in the brushes where I could paint right up to the edge and it wouldn't go over. So I need to find that. You can also do like cavity masking, which helps. But anyway. Zofo, I do occasionally. It depends on what the concept calls for. Specifically, like when I worked on Cars 2, the windshields are obviously not. They're not spheres. They're just flat windshields. So it just depends on the character. But 9 times out of 10, I'll try and keep them spherical because that's the easiest to rig for animation. If the character is going to be animated. I'm just going to let this white bleed down underneath him because I'm not going to really see him. All right, so something like that. I'm going to paint a little bit of gradient on this shirt. A little bit of dark. Yeah, something like that. All right. I'm going to offset his forehead. Just kind of pull. This is just kind of some final-ish tweaking that I'm doing. His eyes need to be a little bit bigger. Could you polygroup that section of the shirt somehow and fill it with white? Yeah, you could. I could use like, I could do like I said, mask by cavity, and then you can do some masking tricks to make it to have poly paint in it, stuff like that. It just it depends. There are some different techniques you can use. Okay, I want to get the corners of his eyes. I gotta bail. I got a meeting with my electrician, so I gotta take off. But I just want to do a couple last little changes. Okay. Then the last thing I want to do is just make a little edge for his lower eyelid along this edge right here. So the way to fix that, Zofo, is to make the eyes actually larger than the eye opening inside of the character's head, and then they'll look like they bulge less. There we go. Just to make a little edge along there that catches the light. My booth is, I think it's 901 or 904. It's right on the corner. Yeah, so let me show you really fast. That's how large his eyeballs are inside his head. So the larger the eyeball, the less, the shallower the eyeball itself. If you think about, you know, growing the sphere inside the head, it's going to make that curvature not so steep. So, all right, you guys, I think this is where I'm going to end it today. There's some things that I want to fix and change with it a little bit, but I'm pretty happy with it as far as how it ended up. Just turn off. I want to give his little nose an asymmetrical little tug. So thanks for hanging out with me today. Again, I give away this user interface and my brushes. If you want these, if you like these brushes, you like this user interface, feel free to go check it out. It's over on my website called 3dcharacterworkshop.com. You can get them right there for free. It'll sign you up for my newsletter to get deals and things like that. My next stream will probably not be next Monday, but the Monday after that. And you can check my schedule on pixelogic.com/ZBrush live, and then go to presenters or go to schedule, and you can check that out. Also, I run an online workshop to teach you how to sculpt characters like this. It is also called 3dcharacterworkshop.com. If you want to find out more about it, you can go to that website, the same website, and learn more about it. Enrollment is currently open at the moment, so if you want to check it out and join us, feel free. And I will see you in 2 weeks, if not sooner, if I can start streaming on my own channel. I'll try. You can follow me on Twitch at Shane Olson Art, like hashtag Shane Olson Art. That's my Twitch channel. So thanks everybody for hanging out today. I really, really appreciate you spending your time. Take care and have a wonderful week. Happy sculpting. Cheers.